The United States is home to over 18,000 public law enforcement agencies operating at federal, state, and local levels. The vast majority of these are local agencies, each with specific authority and a defined geographic area in which they may operate. This concept of jurisdiction refers not only to a particular geographic area but also to the legal authority of an agency to act concerning specific subject matters, territories, or individuals. Law enforcement authority in the United States is not absolute. In addition to statutory laws that establish and guide these agencies, procedural limitations are imposed through decisions of the United States Supreme Court. One notable example is the requirement for officers to issue Miranda warnings to suspects before custodial interrogation, a mandate that emerged directly from Supreme Court rulings. These decisions serve as a check on law enforcement authority, ensuring that individual rights are protected. Further restrictions on police power are imposed by various mechanisms, including police civilian review boards, internal departmental policies and procedures, and the potential for civil liability lawsuits against officers who misuse their authority. Collectively, these safeguards work to balance the authority of law enforcement with accountability and oversight, reinforcing the principles of justice in the United States. Now let me introduce you to the historical roots of American law enforcement. American law enforcement and criminal justice have their roots in English history. The English criminal justice system developed over several centuries, eventually giving rise to the concept of a locally controlled, uniformed police force, supported by plainclothes investigators for follow-up inquiries. Before the 12th century, justice in England was largely a private matter, driven by revenge and retribution. By the 12th century, however, a system of collective protection known as the tithing or frank pledge system began to emerge. In this system, 10 families, referred to as a tithing, were collectively responsible for maintaining order, adhering to the law, and ensuring that lawbreakers were brought to justice. These tithings were further grouped into hundreds, and several hundreds combined to form a shire. The shire was managed by a shire reeve, an office that later evolved into the role of the sheriff. At the local level, elected constables assisted the shire reeve, organizing citizens into posses to pursue and capture offenders. In 1285, the Statute of Winchester formally established the constable watch system. Under this statute, each parish was required to appoint a constable, or chief peacekeeper, with the authority to enlist citizens as watchmen for nighttime patrols. The statute also mandated that all male citizens between the ages of 15 and 60 maintain weapons and join in the hue and cry, a call to assist constables or watchmen in times of need. This system emphasized that maintaining public safety was a community responsibility, locally managed. Significant advancements in law enforcement occurred in 1748, when Henry Fielding created a team of professional law enforcement officers known as the Bow Street Runners. Tasked with apprehending criminals and recovering stolen property in London's Bow Street Covent Garden area, these publicly funded detectives represented an early move toward a more organized and professional approach to law enforcement. The Industrial Revolution brought rapid urbanization to England, leading to rising poverty, social unrest, and crime. In response, Parliament passed the London Metropolitan Police Act in 1829, creating a 1,000-officer police force with standardized training and professional conduct to replace the fragmented local enforcement systems. Officers of this new force became known as bobbies, or peelers, named after Robert Peel, the British Home Secretary who championed the reform. Peel's vision for policing included a military-style organization and a set of guiding principles known as Peel's Principles of Policing. These 12 principles emphasized preventive policing, community cooperation, and accountability, foundations that continue to influence modern law enforcement around the world. In the next section, we will cover the development of law enforcement in the United States.